Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Richard Aplin in Bullpen Science, and today we have two smiling faces with us. We have Teresa. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
And good morning, Linda.
Hello.
All right, you guys, we're going to be talking about healthcare today, and we're going to also be adding in an article that we had I believe it was last week.
Yes, it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And this article was just on my mind continuously, and I was sitting there last night and I was thinking about what we're going to be talking about today, and it hit me. I had a conversation with a patient yesterday, and it was about healthcare, and it was about understanding the definition of healthcare. See, we have this big industry that's out there, and they call it healthcare, but it's gotten to the point that we tend to believe that technology is healthcare, that crisis management is healthcare, that going to the doctor when you have a pain is healthcare, and it's not. Now, that doesn't mean it's not good. All right, it's necessary, but it's not healthcare.
Okay.
And so really, it's almost like we need to redefine this industry to the umbrella, which is healthcare, and then you have different aspects of healthcare. Like you have true health and wellness, you have acute care, you have emergency care, or urgent care. And like for instance, if you're running a really, really high fever, then you may want to go to an emergency care facility or an urgent care.
Right.
If you fall and cut your leg on a piece of glass and you're bleeding, you might want to use urgent care or emergency care.
Right.
But the problem in the industry is that the attitudes in that field, the attitude is that, well, that's really healthcare, and so you need to go all the time. It's almost like, well, if you take a pill because you have this condition, then that's just part of healthcare. And so we've had to change this. And you guys listening out there, you really need to pay attention to this, because this is not only something that can change your overall health and wellness, but it can change the attitudes of the next generation. That's the thing that we say here. Our whole purpose here is to change the generational cycle of sickness.
Yeah.
And it's the way you think.
So just listening to what you said, basically our healthcare as we know it is reactive.
Absolutely.
And not proactive.
Right. Now, do you need reactive intervention? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you need proactive intervention?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But the problem is that we've created this culture think that reactive is proactive, and it's not.
Right. The absence of proactive will bring you to the reactive.
Absolutely.
If you don't handle your business.
And as a result, more and more people are thinking that reactive is proactive. And what's happened is that we've compromised and we've actually lowered the bar.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so what we've done is we've actually redefined what normal is.
Wow.
All right, how many times, and you guys I know I've experienced it firsthand, somebody says, well, how many medications do you take? And I go, none. And they said, well, that's not normal.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
But it is true.
I've gotten the same
Yeah.
response. Yeah.
So we've redefined normal because we don't understand what healthcare is.
Right.
And this article that we had last week on probiotics is the perfect example.
Yeah.
It is.
That
This-
was an
I feel like I've
eye-opener.
discovered a gold mine.
Well, the article says probiotics found to reverse depression. Wow.
Yeah,
just
that's
odd.
Now,
powerful.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you can change the gut structure, you can change the microbiota in your gut, and you can get rid of a condition?
That's pretty amazing. Now, I've heard you say that, about 70% of our immune system lives in the gut.
Yeah,
Makes
absolutely.
sense.
But it
Yeah.
does absolutely make sense.
Yeah.
But here's the reason why it works. Because what they're talking about here is changing the process.
Right.
All right, the condition is the result of the process. How many conditions out there that people suffer from on a day in, day out basis are truly just the result of a process? Well,
all
the
of
government
them?
says 90%. I would dare say that it's 100%.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if we have an industry that promotes management of the condition, then we're degrading what normal is.
Right.
And then, so as a result, instead of changing healthcare or the attitudes or understandings, definitions of healthcare, we just redefine what normal is. So it's normal to take a lot of drugs. It's normal to have a lot of surgeries. No, it's not. So let's talk about this article. This thing was incredible.
Yeah, it
So
was.
what we know from the article is that more and more people suffer from inappropriate or inadequate bacteria in their gut.
Yeah.
And as a result, these conditions manifest. Now, here's how this thing works. And it really, it's beautiful when you think about it. We have, as we work, as we function as a human being, we actually produce waste products. Everything that you do winds up producing waste products. And so we have this bacteria in our gut that its sole purpose is to lower the toxin levels, and they call it a blood metabolite, which is just a waste product. And so it keeps this waste product down, all right? Because if the waste product goes up and hits a certain level, then it triggers depression.
Wow.
That's
And so
amazing.
giving these people just probiotics actually lowered the depression.
That blows my mind.
I know. It's like
That just
discovering a
blows
gold
my mind.
mine here. I mean,
I guess that's true. It is a gold mine.
Yeah.
It really is. But it is so simple.
it is.
You don't have to have a lot of technology to figure this one out.
And you don't have to take drugs that do terrible things to you.
Right. Well, let's look at it. So a person out there, they live a very stressful life. They have no recovery strategies simply because no one's ever taught them that you need to have recovery strategies. And so they just push. All right. They don't eat right. Okay.
Correct.
Because when you get stressed, what do you crave?
Sugar.
Why? Because that's what your body needs to fuel the defense system. And so you crave sugars and what is it? Simple carbohydrates.
Yeah, carbs.
All right. So you do that long enough, and then you wind up with all these blood metabolites increasing, and they take a while, and they increase to a certain level, and then it triggers depression. And so you go to the doctor, all right, who's in the healthcare arena, and you tell him of your symptoms, and then instead of trying to figure out what's really going on, well, they say, well, okay,